my hair looks hideous in this video, I'm sorry. Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today I wanted to bring you a video summarising my luxury highlights for 2022 because it's been a great year for me personally, but also on my luxury journey, whatever that may be. Let's call it a luxury experience because I'm not one for journeys, as we know here on this channel. So I wanted to kind of go through and not just pick my favorite pieces, my favorite bags or my favorite pieces, but my favorite luxury experiences this year. I am just going to go through it as it comes to me and it'll all clean up in the edit. I thought I would use my Instagram grid and the photo app on my phone to kind of reflect on the year that was 2022. So I hope you'll find this equally enjoyable as we move through the year starting in January. Now in January, at the end of January, one of the most memorable experiences in travel that I've had to date was actually in my home state. Mr. Addiction and I went to Ellie Beach and we hired a boat and went out to the Whitsunday Islands. And I'll put in some footage here, but I did a vlog on that trip. It was the most magical, beautiful day that you could ever have. And I guess one of the blessings of the pandemic over the last few years has been to rediscover places at home that you probably pass over because you're more interested in those really big experiences overseas. And I think this one was a great reminder that sometimes some of the best luxury experiences can be right under your nose. Whilst I was there, I got confirmation that one of the most beautiful bags that I have in my collection was going to be waiting for me when we return. And you should know that it's this Christian Dior wicker medium-sized bag. These are from the Riviera collection. Honestly, just a perfect bag for me. I mean, look what I'm wearing today. Like, could it be any more perfect for my climate, for my lifestyle, for how I like to wear my pieces? I love the fact that, you know, it has this kind of undone look with the pouch. You can tuck it in. I like that it has the texture of the wicker. I just love it. I think it's super unexpected from Dior, yet it's so Dior. And so that came in early February. Now, if I was to pick an experience for March, it would have to be my flying trip to Melbourne to design my very first made-to-order bag with Fendi and my good friend Nadia, who managed to get me a +1 invite to her appointment with the Collins Street Fendi team. Obviously, I've done a video on this, but my bag was due to be ready at the end of November. They are shipped to Australia, and because of the exotic material on the bag, it takes a while to be processed through what we call CITES. So it's expected, you know, to be released kind of in the next month or so. We're now mid-December. And that whole experience was absolutely overwhelming. To actually speak to head designers based in Rome at Fendi headquarters and to be guided through the creation of your own unique piece is just something that, I mean, I would love to do it again, but if I don't get to, I am so grateful for that experience. And, you know, one thing that Fendi does is that they encourage you to be bold and creative, and a lot of houses don't give you those options in a made-to-order. So that was definitely my absolute highlight for March. It was amazing. March was also the time, as I mentioned, that I created some new luxury friendships with my friend Nadia, who I went to the MTO appointment with. And I started getting some messages from this woman named Meredith, who seemed to like Fendi, and she had done her made-to-order earlier in March and wanted to help me out with getting prepared for mine because I was talking to you guys about it. And so we started messaging back and forth, and soon it became such a regular thing that we are now on daily contact. So 2 new luxury friends from March, and also at the end of March, Sapna, who did her made to order and happened to have the same sales associate as Meredith, we started conversing about the made to order process as well, and she has also become a firm friend. So luxury can bring so many more benefits than just the bags. Now, speaking of benefits, we come to April, and I think the highlight of April for me was going back to Melbourne. I was celebrating with a friend, and during that trip I also did my first meetup, which was kind of, you know, an organic thing where people said, oh, if you're in Melbourne, let us know, we'd love to catch up. And of all the people that were interested in catching up, the people that actually turned up and had a drink and a chat were Tanya from Bits and Bags. Hi Tanya, I'll link her YouTube channel below. Heidi, hello. Bessie, who was my first sales associate at Fendi in Brisbane, who now lives in Melbourne. Hey Bessie. Nadia, my new friend. So these friendships, I guess, started to really gather momentum, and the thing that linked us all together was our love of luxury. Now in May, the dreaded candy cane, as Super Jacob calls it, came to visit me and kind of threw a bit of a spanner in the works in terms of my health in most of May actually. But the one thing that I was enjoying in May, I believe it was May, was I started doing the 5 Stages to Style, which is primarily an online styling course that's run by a woman named Caitlin. Hi Caitlin. And it's basically how to kind of figure out the short of it, I guess. What shapes suit you best, what silhouettes, how to correct things or create symmetry in your silhouette, what colours complement you, what kind of patterns work best for your facial features, how to articulate your personal brand. And it was a journey that I shared with you guys, and I learned so much. I learned that warm colours just really don't do much for me unless I'm super brown from the summer sunshine. I learned why a lot of angular prints aren't really, they don't feel comfortable on me. I learned why I hate my Burberry trench. I learned so much, and I was really able to step into my personal style and cleansing my wardrobe of pieces that didn't fit, didn't make me feel $1 million, for some reason just never seemed to make it into an outfit that left the house, was really inspiring to me. And I feel like now I have a wardrobe full of pieces that I love, that I feel good in, and it's really easy for me to put outfits together. And it's also transitioned into how I buy my bags and how I've edited my bags over this year, the colours I'm drawn to, the shapes, and how I use my bags as an accessory for my outfits rather than being the whole focus of my outfit. In June, I bought my first piece of designer ready-to-wear, this Fendi men's double-breasted blazer that I purchased from Satire for $1,000 off, and then I had it tailored. And ready-to-wear had always scared me because I'm not plus size per se. I'm a straight size person, but it's just a really intimidating process to go into a boutique and try things on thinking that they're not going to fit, and how embarrassed you will be. At least it was for me. And to purchase this piece online, to have it tailored to fit me, and to really feel confident wearing it for my favourite brand as well, was a really big step for me. And I think that was some of the skills that I learned in the course, was if I like the shape of things, then to use tailoring to my advantage to make things work for me. And I think that's been a big part of my styling journey so far this year. My highlight of July was the arrival of this beauty, sourced by my global sourcing team. You guys, I put the call out that this was a bag that I absolutely wanted that wasn't coming to Australia. In fact, it didn't come to the Asia Pacific region at all. It wasn't found anywhere. And then a lot of you reached out to me and said that you contacted your SA and you might be able to order one, or you might be able to get one in, and then we could organise to do the transaction together. But it was Sarah, who's based in the UK, who hooked me up with New Bond Street, London, and we made it work. This bag was paid for by me. It was then sent to Amelia Rose. Hi Amelia Rose, over in Ireland. And then it came to me from Amelia Rose. This bag is probably one of the real foundations of my channel, or at least it symbolises that, in terms of the fact it's the colour that I love, it's the bag that I love by the brand that I love, and you guys all had a part to play in me getting this bag, and for that I'm so thankful. As we come through to August highlight would have to be two things. One, meeting Meredith for the first time. She came to Brisbane, we went to lunch, we went shopping at Fendi. It was so much fun. It was like we'd known each other forever, and we'd only been chatting online, and we'd had a couple of Zoom conversations, and actually we'd done a collaboration video, but you know when you just know somebody. So that was such a really great experience for August, and yeah, we've continued to be great mates. Also in August, was it the end of August, I put out a rant video about Fendi not delivering stock to Australia, and how is the Australian market going to grow if we weren't getting any stock, and why is our recommended retail price so high compared to countries such as the UK and Europe. I now know that the USA get charged even more than we do, so I feel for you guys as well. And mostly I got a lot of great feedback on that video. Some people were saying that it was my first kind of taste of the nasty side of YouTube, where people didn't really watch the video and thought that I was throwing shade on Cassie Thorpe, which I wasn't at all. It was just a catalyst for thoughts that I'd already had. Anyhow, I went into the Brisbane Fendi boutique and spoke to the guys there and said, you know, I hope you guys know this is not aimed at you. And they're like, absolutely not. You know how much you do for Fendi, and every person that comes in here who looks at a bag says, oh, I watched this woman from Brisbane on YouTube, her name's Dale. And they said, you should do a meetup. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. They're like, no, seriously, you should. I said, how would that work? Anyway, the wheels were in motion for my first ever meetup in Brisbane with Fendi. Come September on the 29th, myself and Fendi hosted about 30 people at the Brisbane boutique, where we had champagne and canapes and a private shopping event. It was surreal. It was so wonderful. A huge thanks to everybody that came and everybody that wanted to but couldn't. People travelled from interstate. It was amazing. Meredith came, my two new friends, Sapna and Nadia. I'd not met Sapna before. They flew in and surprised me for the event, and so many others who came from interstate. Karen, Kendrea, like honestly guys, just an absolute highlight. And something very special that happened that night was that Connor, the fabulous Connor, my wonderful OG YouTube friend, he organised a photographer to capture that evening, and now I have those memories, a candid record of those memories for years and years to come. So every time I pinch myself, I know that it was actually real. So thanks, Connor. So I think it must have been around October that I ended up picking up my engagement ring from Canturi. I had the diamond from my original engagement ring reset into this gorgeous Stella ring, and honestly, with 10 years married under our belts next May, it was a very early anniversary present, but I'm blown away by how beautiful this is. It has the cubism style. It also has my original ring, so it's still a halo style, but just stunning, and so grateful to have this to look at every single day and remind me of my love. Also in October, I got to speak to Kat L and Fashionably Amy on their show, the Luxury Live Show, and that was really interesting to kind of sit in the hot seat and be interviewed about my luxury inspiration, what I think of Hermes, which you probably all know, and whether or not there was any chance that I'd ever buy a pre-loved Birkin. Now, November was a big month for me and Fendi, as most of the year has been, and that's because Fendi's re-edition of the Baguette, 25 years celebrating the anniversary of the Baguette, was released on the 3rd of November. and I was very, very lucky to receive, just the day before launch, the mirror embroidery baguette. I picked this off little tiny postcard size or thumbnail, what do you call it? What am I trying to say? Postage stamp sized pictures until the photos were available on the Fendi Heaven app. And goodness me, I'm so grateful that I've been able to pick up this rather significant investment but anniversary of such an iconic bag for my favourite house. The other thing that November did was introduce my passion for acid green. I never knew that a colour so disarming could be such a great friend to me. And I bought a lot of clothing in this acid green, which you will see in the photos that I flip through here. But I also bought this gorgeous petite peekaboo in the acid green, and I beat the price rise just on this one. It is a really stunning piece. It's so unique. I love how it complements and contrasts with a lot of pieces in my wardrobe, and yeah, it's been the start of a love affair for me and this colour. And I don't think it's something that will end because it is quite complementary to my colouring. November was also really the start of me and co-ords, and I never knew that an oversized shirt and a pair of shorts could be such a vibe. I've really enjoyed playing around with co-ords, particularly, you know, I'm probably a year late to the trend, but it was just something I never really thought would work for me. But the more I looked at the colours and how you can style them, the more I realised it really fits with my done but undone style. So I've quite enjoyed getting on the co-ord train finally. November is birthday month, and I was absolutely spoilt rotten for my birthday by friends and family sending beautiful flowers, well wishes, lovely cards, and even a handbag. I received this beautiful sequin nano from Meredith for my birthday, the most absurdly generous but thoughtful gift, and yeah, just absolutely touched by the thought and generosity. I also received this amazing book, the Fendi event, that my fabulous friend Connor put together for me, my very own coffee table book. My very own coffee table book of my event with Fendi in Brisbane. It's just unbelievable. Let me flick through some pages here and show you. Just so special. It actually happened. Now in early December, obviously I started Grinchmas, but the first kind of major thing that happened this December was that I went to Sydney to celebrate Meredith's hens, and boy did we have a wonderful time. In terms of luxury, where do I start? There was the beautiful hotel rooms at the Crown. There was our amazing Versace robes. There was the beautiful dinner that we went to in a private dining room, but I think one of the most fun parts was getting our moves on when we went dancing on Oxford Street. Such a great experience to have with new friends, and something that I'm really grateful for. And of course there have been many other highlights along the way, but these are just some of the ones that kind of popped up and I wanted to acknowledge in this video. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who subscribe to my channel, who click on my videos, who give me a thumbs up and put a little comment in the comments box below. I love the engagement. I've really enjoyed doing live videos with you, and I want to do more. I think the discussion with you about topics in luxury is really there's a lot more context, there's a lot more dimension to it, and I get really excited by it, and I see that you guys quite enjoy it too. So on that note, thank you so much for being with me in 2022. I hope you continue the luxury experience with me in 2023. I'll have a video with what I expect to happen in 2023 coming out quite shortly. But tell me, what do you think have been the highlights in your luxury experience over the past 12 months? Let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe or tell someone about it. I usually put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, so please come back and join me for the next one. Ciao!